Part 2, the power of being ordinary. So maybe you haven't just watched the talk I did on how freeing it is to get over this lie that we have to be special, aka the power of being ordinary. And what is really helpful on that is also that oscillation that we can go into of I'm not enough. I mean, how many people, like when I'm working with my clients, so much what blocks us and what creates power leaks and our ability to just be ourselves and have our full vibrancy and the full senses of being so alive is our lack of self-esteem and that shame that we go through of, and I'm just not enough, and the addictions that rise and the way that we just like start to reach out towards anyone and anything to just fulfill this endless chasm inside of I'm just nothing, I'm not enough, I can never be enough, right? I know I'm joking about it, but it can be pretty intense when we're in the moment of it, right? So to suddenly take out this pressure of, I've got to be extraordinary. I can actually just be ordinary. I don't have to be so special. I can just be. Then there isn't this enough, not enough thing that happens. And it's so nice. I found that my focal point became, instead of, what else do I need to know, achieve, do? Well, first, I could just chill out a bit more, which is awesome, because to really get to know who we are, we need to chill, right? Like, we need to slow our brainwaves down. We need to lay around and to be really creative and to really see the fullness of being takes being chilled out and relaxed, right? There's a reason why there's all these stress relieving techniques, okay? Which ironically, some people will say, and that will make you more productive, which creates a little bit more anxiety, but whatever. But along with that, suddenly, with the pressure taken off of who do I feel like I need to be in order to fulfill this enoughness, it becomes instead, well, who am I? Which is the age-old question. I remember when I first started meditating when I was 17, that was like the question. I had it on my mirror, who am I? And it's freeing because we don't have to define it. That's stressful. But I could sit back and look at like, okay, I don't have to be like extraordinary, superpowers, but I can start to appreciate my own personal idiosyncrasies, my own path, and the things that I do bring to the table. There's a power when we can start to honor our limits, and instead of feeling like our limits are problems, that's when we find freedom. I'm right now gnawing on this book that I'm working on, and actually what's preventing me from really moving forward is all the things that I want to write. And so to actually write a successful book, or to make a successful movie, or to create a successful training or a successful song, oops, I'm using the word success, but anyway, we need limits, we need boundaries, we need to clean it up so it's like, in this circle, this is what will be existing. It's kind of like the Zen thing, where it's like, let's just focus on this little thing inside the circle and do that really well. And wouldn't that be a pleasure if, instead of feeling like we have to do anything more or different, we have space to just settle down into who we actually already are? Because that's kind of the secret, like, oh wow, it's not about becoming more intelligent and more spiritual. It's about, can we just allow ourselves to be ourselves, and what magic is that? So the pleasure of, okay, who am I in my parameters and boundaries? Quite freeing. And the final point I'll make about our power of being ordinary is that We also can just not take ourselves so seriously, which, God, that's so helpful, right? Really. Is if the essence is to discover the current that exists in all of us that actually connects us as one. If it really is about oneness, right? Because not only are we just an infinite group of special people that are actually all just not special as a result, to discover that spirit or godness or divine or source, whatever you want to say, how do we actually authentically discover that? So we no longer create separation by trying to fight, compete, control, worry, make ourselves smaller, because that's the other side. Like, we can walk around with the inferiority complexes because we've been superior, an hour earlier. So of course we get inferior. And suddenly it's just like we can rest in that buzz of underneath it. Like, we're in this together. So I'm sending you love because we're in this together. And these are my love notes this morning from Singapore, which I am just temporarily in, but it's a cool city. Bye.